99X at 7:45. This is the Thomas Show, baby, where anything that you want to happen might happen. And my telephone is open at 955-9933. Also, say to folks you know, 99X is my radio station. You can win $10,000. The weather, maybe some drizzle tonight. Right now, it's very close to 70.
It's 66 degrees in New York. Good morning. This is Edward Lewis, 99X Information. This morning in the Sports Report, we'll hear from Eagles coach Dick Vermeil about how he beat the Giants yesterday. But first, this story. Jimmy Carter's heading out of New York right now on that whistle-stop campaign train trip. The Bush has soaked the rich tax policies that some of his opponents say would also mean soaking the poor. Well, a campaign train now pulling out of Penn Station early today after Jimmy Carter did some smiling and handshaking with the commuters there. It's heading across New Jersey toward Pennsylvania. It'll then leave the train tonight to return to Plains, Georgia, but Tuesday and Wednesday earmarked for some relaxation. Well, while Senator Walter Mondale was in Little Italy munching on calamari and noshing on bagels on the Lower East Side, his opposite number was in New Jersey, talking about taxes.
Well, I don't know what President Ford has in mind. I think we made some headway in a bill that's now on the president's desk. It's a difficult one. It raises a minimum tax. It does away with some of the tax shelters. It makes the investment tax credit permanent. I'm certain Governor Carter's for that. It saved him about $42,000 in 75 in taxes.
And Senator Dole also attacked Jimmy Carter's plan to streamline federal agencies and the Democrats' ideas about the treatment of draft evaders. In sports news, Jets president and part owner Philip Iselin is listed in serious condition in a Denver hospital right now. Officials say that Iselin suffered a cardiac arrest while watching the Jets play the Denver Broncos, and a statement issued by the Broncos said that Iselin suffered a heart attack at halftime. It said that Iselin lost consciousness while watching the game from a seat in the visiting owner's booth, and he was revived by Dr. Thomas Dillon. Otis Armstrong rushed for 94 yards and a touchdown, and Jim Turner kicked 2 field goals to lead the Broncos to a 46-3 rout over the Jets. Bronco offense churned 543 yards. It's a club record. The victory margin, the most lopsided in the team's 16-year history. Well, the Philadelphia Eagles surprised the Giants yesterday, 20-7, in a game that New York just knew it was going to win. Head Eagle coach Dick Vermeil had his own opinion about what it did for him.
I'll tell you something. When you work hard together, when you work and sweat, and you know you're working harder than anybody else in football, you come together. Because you get in the locker room and you bitch together, you moan together, you cheer at the coaches together. You can't see the value of it, but it brings you together. And there's been a lot of guys fall to the wayside. And if you don't make it that tough, then anybody can make it.
Well, Eagles quarterback Mike Barilla passed for one touchdown, took another one in by himself, and those Giants now headed to a schedule with 4 possible playoff contenders. Well, here's some good news today. Dave Kingman knocked in 5 runs, 36 and 37 homers of the season, helping Mets to a 7-6 victory over the Pittsburgh Pirates. And Catfish Hunter became only the 4th major leaguer to win his 200th game before his 31st birthday when he pitched the Yankees to a 2-1 victory over the Milwaukee Brewers. That game was shortened to 6 innings because of rain. The weather's 1 to 1 on 99X. It's 7:56.
Now you can get what you've always wanted from Dollar Savings Bank. Free checking, plus the highest interest rate on savings, all under one roof. We call our new checking account Better Way Checking. It's better because it's free. And it's better because you don't have to keep a minimum balance in a savings account or in your checking account. You don't have to pay for checks no matter how many you write. And there will be no service charge on your monthly statements. With Dollar's Better Way Checking, you can also apply for Better Way Reserve, up to $1,000 in overdraft privileges. Once approved, whenever you need more money than the balance in your account, you simply write a check for the amount required. And as an added extra, Dollar provides life insurance on the unpaid balance in your Better Way Reserve at no extra cost. You can open a Better Way checking account at any Dollar Savings Bank office. So come in and see us. It will be the last time you have to go from one bank to another. But come in soon. Your present bank may be charging you for every day you put it off. Dollar Savings Bank. The better way. Member FDIC.
99X says mothers take care of your baby's first environment. Keep it safe from viruses like rubella, German measles. Check with your doctor before taking any medication and eat well-balanced meals. For more information about it, contact the Arch at Dimes at 682-6430. Here's the weather. Increasing clouds today at a high up to 78. Occasional showers expected tonight, low to 65, and then rain tomorrow at a high up to 75. Jamaica, Queens has 65 degrees. At Newark Airport is 66. We have 66 degrees in Midtown Manhattan. This is Edward Lewis, 99X, your New York music and information station at 758.
This is Jay Thomas, El Frico, with more music. Do you realize the Russians always win about twice as many gold medals as we do in the Olympics? Is it comforting for you folks to know that our wheat helps make great red athletes? Thomas Show, baby. You come on. 99X.
Jay Thomas?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank you, man, because, like, earlier today, right before they did the news,
Right.
you played a song, and I was really feeling down because of last night, and after I heard the song, like, I felt really better.
What were you listening to? What was it?
I don't know the name, but, I was, like, tired. I don't even know. But, I had a fight with this girl last night, and I woke up, and I was, like, really upset, and then I heard the song, and now I feel much better.
Well, gee, I feel much better, too. That makes two of us.
I don't know if you know this, but I was that weirdo last week with the joke, with the one line.
Oh, great. Well, I can see why the girl dumped you now. My impersonation of heavy metal, baby. 99X. This is Jay Thomas at 9 minutes after 8 o'clock. The weather, in case you're wondering, high in the upper 70s today. Cloudy with a chance of occasional showers tonight. Today will be partly sunny and kind of muggy again. And it's 66 now. Humidity is about 56%. In Central Park, they say it's sunny and nothing happening there. What? Oh, in the morning blab. I got this little lost hiker reports plant he ate made his mind wander. Did you read this one this morning? From Concord, New Hampshire, a hiker who was up in the White Mountains for nearly 9 days said his troubles began when he ate a plant that made him hallucinate. Walter Foster, listen to this poor schnook, he's 42 years old, who is an experienced hiker, was found not far from the entrance to Lafayette campgrounds in Franconia Notch. He had been reported missing, and they found him. He was found by a Boy Scout who said the man was in good condition. He said today he began his 2-day trip, and he stopped someplace, and he ate a plant that made him terribly ill. He said he began to hallucinate, and he spit up, and he believes he wandered around in a brook for most of the day, and he left his shoes and much of his equipment there next to the brook. He retained what food he had, and they found him wandering near the highway. And freaks all over New Hampshire now are questioning Mr. Foster to find out exactly where and what the plant he ate was.
You know that great feeling you get? You open up a brand new record and play it for the very first time? It sounds great. No scratches, no noise, just beautiful music. But how about the 5th and 6th times? How about the scratch and the noise? One answer is to put your favorite records on tape. But what cassette tape can sound as good as a brand new record? The answer is Fuji's new FX cassette. Finally, cassette recording is a totally high-fidelity medium, equal to the very best record. Fuji uses a special new FX tape formulation, which eliminates hissing noise, prevents dropouts, and will give optimum performance to each and every cassette machine. In addition, the Fuji cassette housing is perfectly engineered so the tape never snaps, jams, or gets tangled in your machine. When you listen to a Fuji FX, you'll think you're listening to a brand new record each and every time. Drop by your local Fuji dealer. Find out what state-of-the-art recording really means. Fuji FX cassettes, available at all Sam Goody stores, Corvettes, Borgers in Manhattan, and Sound Country in Emerson, New Jersey. Fuji, the tape that's heard round the world.
99X. It's 11 minutes after 8 o'clock. Stay where you are. Grand Funk is next.
The 99X $10,000 quiz. What do I win? $10,000. When does this happen? Sometime soon. Sometime very soon. In fact, it could happen even as we speak. Who's giving away $10,000? 99X. How do I win? Just know the $10,000 phrase. If someone asks what radio station you listen to, well, tell me that phrase that'll get me $10,000. 99X is my radio station.
99X.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, say that again. Get the sock out of your mouth and try it again.
I'm next to my radio station.
Okay. How old are you?
10.
Oh, great. Well, look, you see, you say that to people on the street, and if it's the X-Man, you win $10,000. What would you do with $10,000?
Well, I don't really know.
Oh, great. Mm-hmm. So you just win 10 grand and just run around and do nothing with it, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll send you one of our favorite nursery rhyme records that you can listen to until you're 15 and old enough to talk coherently, okay? Okay, good. Bye-bye. Take that! Take that! I've had enough! okay. 99X, where you can win $10,000. Don't call me and say 99X is my radio station. Tell people that in the street, and the X-Man will find you, and you might win 10 grand. It's 18 after 8 o'clock. In case you're wondering who this person is, it's Jay Thomas, and we'll have a high today of, turn that thing, have a high today of about, near 80 degrees, maybe some drizzle later. Don't worry about it today. Last night, the Jets got knocked off by Denver, or yesterday rather, 46-3, and unfortunately, the Giants got knocked off by Philadelphia, and the score was 20-7. You'll hear more about that in a few seconds. But first, folks, if you wear eyeglasses, at one time or another, you have probably thought about getting contact lenses. Yes, sir. You probably also had second thoughts about whether you like them or not. Your eyes will turn red and make your head completely crazy. That's why Hillman Cohan Vision Center in New York, famous for complete eyeglass service, now offers the Love 'em or Leave 'em contact lens plan, thought of by a Madison Avenue ad executive. It takes the indecision out of the decision to buy contacts. With this plan, you can try contacts, wear them, live with them within 30 days of purchase. If you decide they're not for you, Hillman Cohan will refund the cost of the lenses. The Love 'em or Leave 'em plan also covers soft or bifocal lenses for all you blind folk out there. You owe it to yourself to see how you like contacts and how Hillman Cohan has a simple way for you to do that. Find out more about the Love 'em or Leave 'em plan contact lenses at Hillman Cohan Vision Center in New York. The Love 'em or Leave 'em plan at Hillman Cohan Vision Centers in New York, like the one in Brooklyn, in the shopping center at Bay Parkway and Shore Parkway, next to Hill Supermarket. Open daily, 10 until 9, Saturday until 5.
Put on a happy face at your Vision Center.
It's 66 degrees in New York. Good morning. This is Edward Lewis. 99X information. I guess you knew this finally had to happen. At Stanford University, scientists have created a paranoid computer. I'll have details of that story upcoming, but first, after some handshaking at Penn Station, Jimmy Carter's heading out of New York now on his whistle-stop campaign train trip through New Jersey, Pennsylvania. He's pushing his soak the rich tax policies that some of his opponents say also mean soaking the poor, too. In the meantime, Carter is saying that President Ford is the one who's trying to raise your taxes.
When Mr. Ford became president in August of 1974, the first thing he did in October was to ask for a tax increase on our people of $4.7 billion. In January of last year, he asked that the payroll taxes be increased on working people now, $5.6 billion.
Jimmy Carter will be leaving the train tonight, going back to his hometown, Plains, Georgia. Seems that he's very busy these days trying to get the peanut crop in. League of Women Voters says it's got to check with Jimmy Carter and Gerald Ford to try to break the stalemate on the televising of the presidential debates by the three commercial networks. League says the ground rules they worked out with the Ford and Carter camps forbid televising audience reaction. Well, the three commercial networks have said that they just can't accept restrictions like that, and public TV says it will carry the debates whatever happens. League says the debates will go on even if the commercial networks don't cover it live. The first debate set for this Thursday in Philadelphia. Well, you drivers in New York who've got a lot of points on your license, here's a chance to get some of them taken off. Those points accumulated, of course, for various driving violations, and you can get your license yanked if you get 9 points in an 18-month period. Well, safety councils here in New York City and other cities across the state, in conjunction with the State Motor Vehicles Department, are offering courses to have those points reduced. The course fee is $25. Henry Kissinger says he's pretty happy, pretty optimistic after 2 days of intense talks with the leaders of South Africa and Rhodesia. The Secretary of State leaving Pretoria today. He's bound for talks with black African leaders in Zambia, Zaire, and Tanzania. Closer to home, the racial crisis in southern Africa underscored early this morning in San Francisco, where a bomb went off at the South African consulate. Nobody was hurt there, but the consulate offices were heavily damaged. And researchers at Stanford University have programmed a computer to simulate a paranoid human being. This mentally ill machine has been nicknamed Perry because it simulates the personality of a fictional 28-year-old single post office worker named Perry who believes he's being hunted down by the mafia. A Science Digest magazine reports that Perry is the creation of Dr. Kenneth Colby, who is trying to develop a human-like subject whom psychiatry students can experiment with. It was kind of feared that student analysts might do more harm than good for a real-life paranoid, so they created Perry. Perry, when asked questions, inevitably gets around to talking about the mafia and how they are after him. Perry insists that the underworld is out to get him because he once beat up a bookie. And it's been reported that a team of psychiatrists once submitted written questions to Perry and to real-life human paranoids and was unable to diagnose which replies came from the machine. In sports news, just about everybody knew the Giants were going to knock off the Philadelphia Eagles yesterday, except maybe for the Eagles. Quarterback Mike Barilla says they were just tired of being the fall guys.
Well, I had confidence in myself, but it's hard to have confidence in yourself when you're just not winning. And, I think we needed to win. I know I did, just to, begin to realize we can win. And it's sometimes when you don't win and you're going through pretty tough times, you start to doubt yourself.
Well, the Eagles, of course, surprising Craig Morton and the gang, 20-7 yesterday. There's more bad news. Otis Armstrong rushed for 94 yards and a TD. Jim Turner kicked 2 field goals to lead the Broncos to a 46-3 rout of the Jets. The Bronco offense got 543 yards. That's a club record. The victory margin, the biggest in the team's 16-year history. Quarterback Joe Namath was sidelined for most of the first half. Jets got their only score early in the first quarter, a 25-yard Pat Lee field goal. Last week, the Redskins quarterback, Billy Kilmer, got a pretty good thumping in that game of the Giants. This weekend, Billy said the over-the-hill gang got it together.
Well, it's about time. We've been talking about it all preseason and in the last game, and it was good to see Mike have a big game and John coming through for a big game, and then we threw the ball when we had to and made the big catch. And that's the way you play football. There's really no secret. But, we play a lot tougher teams from now on, and we just have to get better and better and better, and hopefully we will.
Well, the Washington team thrashed the new Seattle franchise 31-7 yesterday. Here's the good news. Dave Kingman knocked in 5 runs with his 36 and 37 homers of the season. That helped the Mets to a 7-6 win over the Pirates. Lost keeping the Pirates 4 games behind the Phils, who lost a 1-0 decision to the Cubs in Chicago. And Catfish Hunter becomes the 4th major leaguer to win his 200th game before he turned 31. He pitched the Yanks to a 2-1 win over the Brewers up in Milwaukee in a game that only went 6 innings because of rain. That's the Yankees' 5th straight triumph as they march on to that AL East pennant. The weather's upcoming on 99X. It's 8:24.
It has taken 157 years to perfect the bicycle.
The Viscount is here.
And now you can actually weigh the advantages of the perfect aluminum and titanium alloys honed into an ultra-lightweight cycling machine with the strength and beauty of an aircraft.
The Viscount is here.
And the Viscount Cycle weighs in with a super light 3.75-pound chrome polysteel frame, hand-brazed in the finest European racing tradition.
The Viscount is here.
Here with sealed aircraft bearings and aerospace alloy components for swift, graceful motion. Viscount, a whole new technology that holds down cycle weight and boosts all-out performance.
The Viscount is here.
Weigh the advantages and you'll pick Viscount, a true flying machine in the British tradition.
Continental Bike Corporation has them in Brooklyn, New York. Cookies Cycle Center Limited, Glen Head, New York. Danny's Right Away, Levittown, Long Island.
99X says New York state law guarantees you equal opportunity to obtain credit. Refusal of credit has got to be based on factual evidence and fair criteria on something like your sex or your marital status. Here's the weather. Increasing clouds today, and a high up to 78. Occasional showers tonight, low to 65, and then showers again tomorrow, a high around 75. Riverdale, your temperature 65 degrees. Coney Island has 65. It's 66 degrees in Midtown Manhattan. This is Edward Lewis, 99X, your New York music and information station. It's 8:26.
This is the wonderful, exciting, and also very sick Jay Thomas on the radio with Eric Carmen.
Hi, is this Jay Thomas?
Yes, it is.
Hi, can I request a song?
Yes, you can.
Okay, can I hear Miracles?
Miracles by Jefferson Starship?
Yeah, that's right.
Did you know that was the single of the year?
Uh-huh.
Last night in the...
No, Saturday night.
It was Saturday night in the... you tell me what it was.
It was a single of the year, Saturday night in the Rock Awards.
There you go. Thank you very much.
All right. And can you dedicate that on the air?
No, we can't do that. But if we, who would you want to dedicate it to?
Well, he used to work at 99X.
Who is he?
Johnny Disco.
Johnny Disco used to work at 99X?
He's an engineer.
Where is Johnny Disco now?
Disc jockey in Cleveland, Ohio.
Johnny Disco went from engineer at 99X to disc jockey in Cleveland?
Yep.
Cleveland doesn't care who they hire, do they? 90, thanks a lot. I said that 4 times. 99X. And Jay Thomas at 23 minutes before 9 with a high today of near 80, maybe some drizzle tonight. Don't worry about it. It's about 66 right now. We shouldn't have any rain till this afternoon. If it rains before that, don't blame me. That was the single of the year. We sent Tony Bozo. No, that's not his name. What's his name? Tony Barroso, some ethnic guy. We sent him out to the West Coast, and on Saturday night he was part of the big weekend with Alice Cooper and the Rock Awards, and that was one of the tunes there. What else? The westbound lanes of Route 287 cross Westchester Expressway in Harrison are tied up after a truck turned over, and it turned over about an hour and a half ago, but it's still tied up there. Police said that traffic is considerably backed up. Listen to me again. The westbound lanes of Route 287 cross Westchester Expressway in Harrison are tied up. Ladies and gentlemen, the Thomas Show is proud to announce that some of the biggest names in the industry, are calling up to welcome me to New York. On the phone with us this morning is the famous, I won't mention his full name, I just call him Dr. Henry. Good morning, Dr. Henry. How are you?
Well, hello, Poopsie. I'm calling all the way from Africa to welcome you back to the good old Big Apple.
The great dark continent, is that correct?
That's true. It's a little dangerous here right now.
Why is it dangerous, Dr. Henry?
Well, there are all kinds of things flying through the air. Sticks, stones, bottles, a few bullets.
I saw a picture of you with your hands in your pants yesterday, tucking your shirt in, front page of the Times. Now, what were you doing?
Well, actually, as a matter of fact, I was searching for something which I didn't find.
Oh, okay, Doctor. Well, Doctor, did you call to welcome me to New York?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I want you to know I have a little commentary about the election.
Well, go right ahead, Doctor. We're all ears.
First of all, I want you to know that we are going to fight this battle on the streets and in the beaches. Wait a minute, wrong quote. We are going after the uncommitted voters.
The uncommitted voters?
We are going after the committed voters.
The committed voters.
We are also going after the voters what should be committed.
Yeah! More graduates from Moon Pie High. And more music, 99X at 18 before 9 o'clock. This is Jay Thomas here saying 99X is my radio station. Tell everybody you see that. Maybe be the X-Man and you'll win, what is it? You'll win $10,000. I had to find an ethnic group that I could make fun of, so I found one. 2 Bavarian militants went out to hijack a jet and came back with Joe Namath. Now, 99X, and this is the Thomas Show here. I was on time. Where were you? It's 13 before 9 o'clock with a high today of like about 80 degrees. I'm supposed to read this. 99X wants everybody to win. That's why one major prize winner per family every 30 days. All your professional contestants are out. So if you won last month, you can win next month too. What do we do? Oh, yeah, I press that and then I say that. The name is TNT Stores, with dynamite values and dynamite fashions for ladies and children. The name is TNT. Boom! Exploding onto the Brooklyn fashion scene. Kids' clothes are at 906 Flatbush Avenue. Ladies' fashions at 896 Flatbush Avenue and 2067 86th Street. Yes, the name is TNT Stores. Featuring name brand fashions for kids, for ladies. The values are going to spark your fuse. Is that the explosion there? Okay. So burn on down to TNT Store near you in Brooklyn. TNT is dynamite. It's about 11 before 9 o'clock.
Hi, I'm Elliot Maddox with the New York Yankees. Come and bring a friend to the new Yankee Stadium. It's a great way to spend the day.
It's 66 degrees in New York. Good morning. This is Edward Lewis, 99X information. And one of the mayor's aides has a great plan, he says, to get pornography off the streets. Put it on the second floor. I'll have details of the story, but first this. Hundreds of supporters, including top state Democratic political figures, turned out this morning at Penn Station to kick off Jimmy Carter's Whistle Stop campaign through New Jersey and Pennsylvania. Now, if you're inclined to believe the Republicans, then Jimmy Carter might be a modern-day Robin Hood. There's only one difference. They say he is willing to soak both the rich and the poor. Carter answered that.
There are those in this country who make a lot of money, who pay practically no taxes. The surest income to be taxed in this country is the income earned from manual labor. There are not any hidden secret loopholes for someone, a man or woman, that works with their hands 40 hours a week, 52 weeks a year. But there are hidden secret loopholes for everyone else.
Well, Jimmy Carter will be heading home to Plains, Georgia tonight. He's planning to work on the peanut harvest for the next couple of days. Well, it seems if you can't get rid of it, then sweep it under the rug. That seems to be the reasoning of New York Mayor's assistant, Sidney Baumgarten, who has a job of trying to check the spread of New York's pornography industry. A new idea? To zone the stuff onto the second floors of all storefronts. He says it would be an interesting thing to try. It wouldn't have citizens affronted and offended by the stores. Baumgarten says that he wants his second-story plan to be considered by the City Planning Commission, which is reviewing ideas for zoning porn in New York. In sports news, New York Jets president and part owner Philip Iselin is listed in serious condition at Denver Hospital right now. Hospital officials say Iselin suffered a cardiac arrest while watching the Jets play the Denver Broncos. The Broncos routed the Jets 46-3 yesterday, and the Philadelphia Eagles surprised the Giants yesterday 20-7 in a game that New York just knew it was going to win. Head coach of the Eagles, Dick Vermeil, had his own opinion about what the win did for him.
I'll tell you something. When you work hard together, when you work and sweat, and you know you're working harder than anybody else in football, you come together because you get in the locker room and you bitch together, you moan together, you chew at the coaches together. You can't see the value of it, but it brings you together. And there's been a lot of guys fall to the wayside. And if you don't make it that tough, then anybody can make it.
Eagles quarterback Mike Barilla passed for one touchdown and took another one in all by himself. And the Giants now headed to a schedule with 4 possible playoff contenders on their schedule. In sports, other sports news that's a little bit better for you this morning in baseball, Dave Kingman knocked in 4 runs, 36 and 37 homers of the season, helped the Mets to a 7-6 win over the Pirates. The loss keeping the Pirates 4 games behind the Phils. They lost a 1-0 decision to the Cubs up in Chicago. And Catfish Hunter becoming only the 4th major leaguer to win his 200th game before his 31st birthday. He pitched the Yankees to a 2-1 win over the Brewers in a game that only went 6 innings because of rain up in Milwaukee. That was the Yankees' 5th straight triumph. The weather's upcoming on 99X. It's 8:53.
You've probably seen the Pepsi Challenge on TV. What you didn't see were interviewers with hidden microphones speaking to people right after they took the taste test. Here's what Bob Yutkin said.
What do they ask you to do?
They give you a glass of Coke. They don't tell you what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
A glass of Pepsi. And then you drink one, then you drink the other, and you tell them which one you like the best. That's it.
Did you know beforehand which was which?
No.
Oh, come on, you knew.
No, how would I know?
Or maybe you know somebody who works for them.
I don't know anybody.
Come on, you knew.
You're badgering me.
Come on. I wanted to know what your honest reaction was.
My honest reaction was that just what I told him. I like Pepsi Cola better.
Okay, Bob. No, you just get a big smile.
It's a fact. Nationwide, more Coca-Cola drinkers prefer Pepsi than Coke. But don't take our word for it. Don't take anyone's. Take the Pepsi Challenge. Let your taste decide.
99X says if you're a man 45 or older and you smoke a pack of cigarettes or more a day, the American Cancer Society wants to help you detect lung cancer at an early and curable stage. For information about it, call the American Cancer Society at 586-8700. Here's the weather. Increasing clouds today and a high up to 78, then occasional showers tonight. The low should be about 65 tomorrow. More rain expected, a high only about 75. In Rego Park, it's 65 degrees. Glen Cove has 64, and we have 66 degrees in Midtown Manhattan. This is Edward Lewis, 99X, your New York music and information station. It's 8:54.
And this is Jay Thomas reminding you can win $10,000. Tell everybody you see. 99X is my radio station. I'm sorry. Oops. Finger slipped. Like I didn't poke my eye out. Where are we here? Oh, I'm in New York. The big time. So what? It's 2 before 9. This is the Thomas Show. How are you doing? The weather that Ed What's-His-Nose just came in and gave me. Temperature will be, it is 66 now, and maybe some rain later this afternoon in under Splavolia. It's 71. It's supposed to you know what the temperature is. Stick your thumb outside. I want to ask you a question. Why do you engineers always wear T-shirts? But not the ones with the pits that show. That's the, I was in the hall just now, and you could smell the guy coming for a mile, and he had a tube in his hand. He must be an engineer, right? In a copy of Electro Nude magazine. 99X is WXLO New York. 902, and this is Crazy Jay Thomas on the radio with Consumer Rapport. Is that right? Rapport or Report? I never heard of this record. This must be some hot New York hit. More music, 99X. And Jay Thomas. Well, we never play less than 3 in a row unless we want to. The Bay City Rollers doing an old Dusty Springfield song. I only want to be with you, but you've got to be like 13 or over, all right? You could belch in public, and I'd still hang with you. That's the kind of guy I am. I only want to be with you, 99X, the Bay City Rollers, at 8 minutes after 9 o'clock with Crazy Jay Thomas on the radio, and it's mail call time. Bap-ba-da-bap. This letter comes from Little Bobby Jerk, who's out there listening someplace, and he sent it to sports broadcast person. I heard 99X sportscaster call my friend Catfish Hunter a guppy. This is a real letter, folks, that we got ready. It's on orange paper with a little flower on it. Probably borrowed it from his mommy. This kid probably suffers from terminal acne. He just got through pitching a 13-inning ball game, and he is fabulous, and he goes on and on and on. But at the bottom, the kid becomes very threatening. Must be a militant. One of these days, New York Yankee fans are going to get together and throw a bomb at your station. This is it. When little Bobby is so stupid, he left his return address. Bobby, it's 9:09 now. By 9:11, the bomb squad will be at your house, okay?
It has taken 157 years to perfect the bicycle.
The Viscount is here.
And now you can actually weigh the advantages of a perfect aluminum and titanium alloys honed into an ultra-lightweight cycling machine with the strength and beauty of an aircraft.
The Viscount is here.
And the Viscount Cycle weighs in with a super light 3.75-pound chrome poly steel frame, hand-brazed in the finest European racing tradition.
The Viscount is here.
Here with sealed aircraft bearings and aerospace alloy components for swift, graceful motion. Viscount, a whole new technology that holds down cycle weight and boosts all-out performance.
The Viscount is here.
Weigh the advantages and you'll pick Viscount, a true flying machine in the British tradition.
Viscount, Hempstead, Cycle Limited, Hempstead, Long Island, Nassau, Bicycle Exchange, Mineola, is that how you say that? Long Island, thank you. North Shore Cycle Company, Great Neck, New York. No, stop. North Shore Cycle Company, Great Neck, Long Island. You got to say that. 99X, this is all fumbles. It's 910.
99X wants to know, what would you do with $10,000?
Well, I guess I would spend some, save some, and I guess I would give some to the hungry. Oh, I'd spend it on clothes and everything. Have fun. We're moving, and I'd use it to help my mother and father.
My boat. I'd buy a nice shortwave radio. I'd have it broke.
Buy my father a car.
I'd buy a new car, get an apartment by myself, and then I'd flip out.
99X can make your most far-out dream come true with a $10,000 phrase that pays. When you see the X-Man in the X-Van and he asks you,
Hey, what's your radio station?
you tell him
99X is my radio station.
the $10,000 phrase that pays from 99X.
Not bad for a beginner. Eric Clapton, 99X, 9:15. This is Jay Thomas. High today is going to be near 80, and some light drizzle expected this afternoon. Now everything is all right, and it's about 67 degrees. Did you hear about the MiG that was manned by the Soviet pilot that flew into Tokyo? It's a true story. You read that in the paper, I'm sure. And now we're examining the thing, and we're frightened to death, of course, of the Russians. And they say that this plane is really unsophisticated. This was in the yesterday morning blab. They don't have an ejection seat in Russian MiGs. It reminds me of that joke about the Japanese guy that flew the 27 kamikaze missions. A little humor there. Anyway, and they say that the buttons on the panel are even unsophisticated. So can you imagine him talking to the pilot? All right, what is this button? Oh, that shoot button. Shoot button. What is this one? Oh, that bomb button. Bomb button. Thanks.